Is the New York bar exam the hardest bar exam in the country? This is one of the most common questions I get from law students, from laymen, from anyone who's interested in law school or interested in the law. I'm here to dispel the rumors to tell you definitively whether the New York bar exam is in fact the most difficult bar exam in the country. Let's jump right into it. Hi there, Doc from Barcast Audio here, and I'm here to dispel the rumor, the common misconception that is the New York bar exam is the most difficult bar exam in the country. That is incorrect. That is not a true statement. The fact of the matter is the most difficult bar exam in the country is, drumroll please, the California bar exam. In 2023, 73% of bar exam takers passed the New York bar exam, and that number actually jumps even higher to 85% if you're just looking at applicants who attended ABA, American Bar Association approved law schools. By contrast, the California bar exam sported only a 51% passage rate in 2023. And there have been years in California where the passage rate has been as low as 35%. What's even crazier is that the New York bar exam, as people think about it, as people sort of talk about it, doesn't even really exist anymore. In 2016, New York State adopted the Uniform Bar Exam, an exam that essentially allows for the transfer of scores, the transfer of bar exam takers' applications to be transferred across state lines. So if you take the bar exam in New York, your score can be transferred to a state like, let's say, New Jersey or Connecticut without you having to take a separate exam there. As of right now, as I sit here in 2024, 46 states administer the Uniform Bar Exam. There are whispers that New York is going to abandon the Uniform Bar Exam, go back to its own bar exam, but for right now, they are administering their own test. By contrast, California administers a California-specific bar exam test. They're one of those 4 state holdouts I mentioned before, similar to Florida, similar to Louisiana, and I believe Delaware. Those are the 4 states that are still holding out at this point. Either way, California's exam, part of what makes it so difficult is the fact that it is so state-specific. It's not uniform the same way the quote-unquote New York bar exam is now. The California bar exam used to be 3 days. They recently abandoned that option simply because students were failing at such a high rate. Now, the fact of the matter is that for all the hype about the California bar exam being so difficult, around the failure numbers that they sport each year, that's sort of a misnomer because California, unlike many other states, allows students who did not actually attend law school to take the California bar exam. And beyond that, California has a ton of schools which are not ABA accredited and which it allows students to still take the bar exam. So despite the fact that California's passage rates numbers ostensibly look really bad, those numbers are not nearly as bad when you take in all the external factors here with which students are getting the opportunity to take the exam and which students are maybe not prepared for the exam by schools that are not accredited by the American Bar Association. All in all, the important thing to remember here is that the New York bar exam is not nearly as difficult as it is sometimes projected in popular culture, in sort of whispers among people, or the way it is discussed. Another thing to keep in mind here is that the Uniform Bar Exam that I referenced before, it is administered across 46 different states. And across those different states, each state has a set threshold for what a passing score is. So New York, for example, has a 266 passing score. And the fact of the matter is, most states have a higher score requirement, a higher threshold. Most states require at least a 270 to pass the exam. So New York State is an enigma in that regard in terms of what it allows students to do in terms of scores to pass the exam and to be considered an attorney and at least apply to be considered for becoming an attorney. All in all, the point of this video is really that the New York bar exam is not nearly as difficult as portrayed. If you are someone who's willing to put in the work, you can pass the exam. You just have to enter the exam knowing that this is an accomplishable task. Those numbers I referenced before with regard to students are something to consider. I know that these numbers sort of get even a little bit more crazy if you are an international student who's applying to take the exam for the first time, but generally speaking, the New York bar exam is not nearly as difficult as the California bar exam. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you want more of these videos, law school tips, bar exam tips. Be sure to check us out at barcastaudio.com. If you want some free bar exam materials, you can check them out in the links below. We have audio outlines at Barcast Audio. We have bar exam prep, law school prep, anything you need, we have it there. So until then, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye now.